coffee back after what is it, 2 months, Ray? I can't believe it's
I
been
think
so
it
long.
seems like it. It seems like it. I've been very busy and I missed my cats and coffee.
I've missed you. I know you have a mug. Want to show everybody your new mug. I have my cat mug. You've been touched that mug.
I
I
do.
love it. Oh my gosh. So how do we get a touch not mug?
Oh boy. It took me months and months to make this one. I have to.
We'll figure this out. I know how to do this actually. I can make them I could actually make them in one of my accounts. So I'll let you know and I'll ship you some. We'll have some. So if you come see us at the games, potentially in the not so distant near future, you might be able to
Yep.
get yourself a touch not coffee mug because that's all
There
kinds
you
of
go.
fantastic. I love that. Ray, how have
Right.
you been? It's been
Pretty good.
crazy for both of us as the I want to say Highland Games and
I know.
all things Scottish has seasons have started on both coasts.
I,
And
I know it.
and it's like hold on to the steering wheel for dear life because here we go.
Well, that's right. And trying to keep up with our regular, scheduled months of Hatton clans and things has been a little bit of a tough thing, folks. So I want to apologize a little for that. It's a tough blend when we knew it was going to happen. And I think I might have mentioned it about a month and a half or two ago, but that once the season starts, things will slow down a little bit and there'll be a blend. And boy,
Yeah,
it happened. It sure happened.
it's been fun watching where you've been on your YouTube channel. I have recorded the Victoria Highland Games. I've recorded the Costa Mesa or Scottish Fest in Southern California. And I
Ah,
don't have them out yet because you know how it is for me. You have these seamless recordings you can just post. Mine, I have to edit them. I have to put them together. It's a slow process for me, unfortunately. So mine are
right.
trailing behind, but we have been doing it. We've been out there in the world, both of us, running around, supporting and doing things, all things Clan Chattan Association. And Ray, you've done a phenomenal job, and thank you for that. And
Oh,
everybody needs to go over on your YouTube channel and watch some of the fun stuff and the things you've been. Tell us about being Clan Chattan Association was the host clan,
honored clan, they call
honored
it.
clan. Okay.
Right. Believe me, I was going to mention it if you didn't prompt me like that, but thank you anyway.
Yeah. Tell us about that. How was that
Yeah.
experience? And you got to open the games. How fun.
Yes, it was very fun. The first time I've ever seen Clan Hatton Association, um, as an honored clan in our area because it just has never happened. I don't know if it's ever happened in the country, perhaps, but some of the Hatton clans are, of course, at times. McGillivray, for instance, was at that games last year. They were the honored clan. And when I was convening for Macintosh, I was the honored clan in Rhode Island one year, and etc. But for Clan Hatton to be it, it was a different thing, and it was very special to me and everything. I wanted to try to make sure as many other Hattons could be there, either with tents or just on foot, and be with us. That's all you have to do, folks, is to participate. Get there and say it's me and I'm with you, and that's how it works. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna miss somebody probably, but we had McGillivray and McBain and Parkinson, McIntosh, Shaw, a few others with us in
Did
the
you have
parade.
McThomas? Did you have McThomas?
Yes, a MacThomas. Thank you. Yes,
Uh,
we did. We did have a MacThomas. Yeah, my friend Eric, he lives up there in Maine. Thank you for saying that very much. We have 12 folks, and it's tough to get everybody, especially to try to remember which of the 12 were at a place a week ago when I go to so many things. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that did a little speech at the stage and um, great weather. Almanac. What more could you say?
do you have any events in July?
There's one in July. It's called the Glasgow Lands in Northampton, Mass. It's a pretty big one, very well attended every year, and always known for its good weather. Pretty hot sometimes, but yeah, that's a good one. We still have two in June to go now. One this weekend, which is the No Fame Games, and then on the 29th, the Fort Number 4. That's what this shirt is.
Oh,
This is the
nice.
logo. This is the logo for the fort at number 4. So if you watch my channel, and please subscribe to the Chestnut channel, by the way. I was just up at the fort last Saturday. Don't tell everybody yet. And I told them I was a Chestnut Wildcat, and I'm here to take a look at the fort. I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, and I want to have a look around. So they actually let me in, unaccompanied, and I did a little self tour. And I waylaid a guy who was one of the reenactors, and he gave us a nice little 2 or 3 minute talk about what the place is about. So I'll have that on in probably another week or two. I have a lot of little videos from the fort that I did.
And where is this location one more time?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Charlestown, New Hampshire, June 29th.
Okay, perfect.
It's a
Oh,
French and Indian War reenactment fort, and this is going to be the venue for the Highland Games. It's a huge place. It's got vast open fields behind it. You'll see in my videos. It's a great place for this, and I can't wait for it to happen.
it sounds amazing. Have they had the games there before? Or is this the first one?
There has been a festival there for 1 or 2 years, I think. It's under a different organization doing this year now. They're really using the fields and the place, and there's a big splash of things going on. Stone lifting, the Lundstrom Stones. He's a local guy here that he's passed away. I believe his name was John Lundstrom, and he made 2 ring stones. They're 400 and something pounds a piece, and he carried them, one in each arm for the walk. The farmer's walk is what he initiated, if you ever heard of it. Those stones will be there. There's a lot of spectacles going on, really. It's what they are. Things you won't forget you saw.
Wow. I can't wait to watch on your channel so we can kind of feel like we're there with you. And this will motivate me. I actually am home for the first weekend since April. I get to stay home and I'm going to get caught up on our channel here. So guys, stay tuned here because the games we've attended will be out. And so you'll be able to run around with us and see what those are like. I got so behind. We also have another video coming out with Philip Beddoes that was recorded actually a couple months ago. And it's our first installment about the Battle of the North Inch. I've always been intrigued with that battle. So he does a deep dive about this battle and the different histories, opposing histories about it. For those who were really into history, that might be of interest. So stay tuned and let's stay tuned with Ray because Ray posts really quickly and I love that, Ray. It's going to be fun to see all things about the No Fame Games and then the following weekend, the fort. The 4.
Yes.
Really fun. And this is Clan MacThomas month. I always enjoy learning things about the clans we're spotlighting. I don't know
Indeed,
about
indeed.
you, but I learned I things I had no idea. I don't want to say the MacThomases were kind of late to the scene of the Clan Hatton, what was the Confederation. They really weren't. It's just that they were part of the Macintoshes up until the late part of the
Yes,
5th century.
true.
And so you don't really find them, in the Convara so much. You don't find them in some of the other books, Clan Hatton and its kith and kin. But there are still some very fascinating stories. We're going to hear more from the chief, Finnegan.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so he did an interview. We're just waiting to put the final touches on that so we can release that. And he's going to tell us all about the cock stain. But then reading more, not only on their website and just we also have our on the trails. There's a little tidbit about Clan MacThomas. Each clan, has a little bit of information about their origins. It was interesting to me also to learn that, the Gaelic TH sound is the C and vice versa. So you're going to see that the septs of MacThomas have a lot of C's. Combi, Macomb, McComas, McCum, McCumby. And this is because the TH sound is Gaelic for the C. So this is all very interesting, and you hear the chief also explain that. And just talking a little bit more about Tommy Moore or Big Tommy, and then Ian Moore. And some of the things these chiefs did were incredible. Tommy Moore was the first MacThomas, and then Ian Moore was a little bit further down the line. The things he did,
Mhm.
and including fighting his own son in disguise. And you have to think back to those times. It's the late 16th century, and it's pretty brutal in the north of Scotland, especially in the Highlands. It's pretty darn brutal.
Right,
And especially for a clan chief. So you were born into this. This is your birthright. You don't necessarily get to choose that you're going to be the clan chief, right? So you
right,
have a son, and he's going to be clan chief one day. You have to know how to fight. Your existence and that of your clan is dependent upon these things, right? So
right,
can you imagine as a parent, you're struggling with this idea of, oh my goodness, I need
right.
to make sure my son is battle worthy. I need to make sure he can fight and fight well. But the Clan MacThomas takes its name from Thomas, known in Gaelic as Tommy Moore, Big Tommy. And we learned previously, earlier in the year, we were talking about Gaelic and how Moore means big,
Yes,
Og means small. So you're going to see Moore, M-O-R, and Og, O-G, associated with different names. And sometimes you're going to see those, they look kind of like either surnames during times where there weren't yet surnames,
mhm,
or middle names. There is a common historical figure in the Macintoshes, John Og McIntosh, from which a lot of Macintoshes in the continental United States can trace their lineage.
yes,
Not realizing Og was not his middle name, it just meant he was the younger or the smaller.
right.
You
Sure,
know,
people do that. People do that nowadays, right? They'll say, Stephen and Big Stephen, his father, or something like that. People still do that.
yes. Well, and now you've got a copy of the Kinrara, and I always think I don't know how much you've been able to really look at that. It's interesting because the Kinrara constantly is describing the stature of people. When you get a chance, and for anyone else out there who's got a copy of the Kinrara, which is an account of the Macintoshes, it's one of the manuscripts, you'll see that it goes into great detail to describe when it starts to give a history of a person. It'll describe what they look like, their stature,
Hmm.
in great detail. And so this was a thing, to have these descriptions. And so this Moore and Og was very common at the time. So for the Thomases, this Tommy Moore, Big Tommy, was a descendant of the Clan Hatton Macintoshes. His grandfather was the son of William, the eighth chief of Clan Hatton. And Thomas lived in the 15th century at a time when the Clan Hatton Confederation was becoming large and unmanageable. So he actually took his kinsmen and followers
Ah,
across the Grampians to Badenoch and Glen Shee, where they finally settled as a clan. Now, this was before the 1609 Band of Union. And so they were
hmm.
able to come back as one of those clans for the Band of Union.
Oh,
But
good point. Yes.
this is where they came from. So I find it very fascinating. And you're going to hear more about the MacThomases throughout the rest of the month. So it should be very interesting. We're finding with every clan in the association, excuse me, what was the Confederation, there are some great stories.
Right. Right. I'm glad you mentioned the fact that they were Macintoshes formerly, or in Clan Hatton already. It's not like you say that paragraph says, beginning in the 15th in the 1587, I think it is. You say, oh, that's late to the picture or something, but they were there all the time in the blood and in the family. They just weren't called that. They just literally didn't have the name yet. That's all it was. They didn't show up they didn't crop up out of the ground one year. They were always there, just named now. It's happened with Farquharsons and Shaws and others, right?
Yes, absolutely. So this is yet another branch that kind of
Correct.
came out of the Clan Hatton, the Macintoshes. And
Right.
so wonderful, wonderful history, wonderful stories. And I know that our friend, Virginia Kring, is doing a lot of fun things over on the Clan MacThomas YouTube channel and
Yes,
also
she is.
on their social media. So we'll put those links here as well so you can follow along with them. It has been a while since we've been able to get on here. I've dealt with an invasion of scorpions here
Have you?
in Las Vegas. It's been in the news, and yeah, we had a swarm in our driveway. Let me tell you, this is not fun. You know, everybody always tells me before I go to Scotland, watch out, there's going to be midgies. I don't worry so much about the midgies. It's the scorpions that I really don't like. And then also my next door neighbor had a rattlesnake in their yard last week, about a week ago, right next door, and you were talking about your games might be hot. We've been running at about 109, 110 Fahrenheit this last week. So
Is that
that's
what it is? The scorpions boiled out of their holes or something?
it's yeah, they come out. We've had a lot of rain this year, and so we've got a lot more scorpions than normal, and we have a lot of rattlesnakes. But how's it been for you in your neck of the woods personally, Ray? What have you been up to? How's your summer going?
Pretty well. I have a pretty big vegetable garden and a little greenhouse. You might have seen a short. I made a couple of shorts or reels or something from my greenhouse one time about the athletic videos. I should mention that, by the way. On my channel, I've made quite a few interviews now with people concerning Highland athletics and the Highland Games and everything, and all the events that take place. So it's been a lot of fun. Four interviews. I might do a few more, depending on who I get or what subjects we can figure out to talk about.
I find the athletics fascinating myself. I talk about Jarvina Rout sometimes on this channel. I should post her interview. I did an interview with her actually for the Scottish government when we were working with the Scottish government with Scott Week. She's such an inspiration, heavy athlete for the Scottish athletics. I had on Dr. Simon Gilmore, the director of the Society of Antiquaries. I have a lot of online discussions and people coming online and talking about what it is that they're doing in terms of excavation or just
Right.
work about genealogy or history. And so you need to check back in on the Society of Antiquaries website. But this is something you can do from home and participate
Yes.
with the society.
Yes, I saw that on your interview. It was a very nice interview, by the way. He mentioned that there's a lot of interactive discussions that go on in groups and things, Zoom groups, like perhaps, I'm not sure, but that they conduct. It's been so long since we've talked, everyone. I kind of lost track of what's happened. I've been pretty busy, so I can't think of everything I should be updating everyone about. But the Scottish Wildcat.
Yes.
All right, I have two interviews on the Touchnot channel. One from excuse me, one from a gentleman in Germany, and one from a guy in Scotland. Both work with the Wildcats. Please take a look at the Touchnot channel and let me know what you think of them. I worked pretty hard on them. I want to know what people think about it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I learned a lot about the cats. It's essentially the same animal, and these two guys are working in separate countries to do what they can to keep them alive and keep the species viable. You know who Bodo Schmitz is?
Yes.
Bodo Schmitz is the European McPherson clan chairman, and he does a lot of work for Wildcats in Germany. Just wanted to mention that. He's a good friend of mine through the internet and everything. And Bodo got me in touch with the guy in Germany who does work with the Wildcats. So a lot of great stuff going on there with the McPhersons, who are of course Wildcat clans. So they're fulfilling their purpose as McPhersons in Germany by supporting the Wildcat, which is endangered there as well.
Well, and we also have the Agus Field Foundation, who is always in the clan tent at Moy.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'll put a link down below to their work as well. They're another group, nonprofit, and they actually have some webcams that you can go in and link into and see some of the wildcats that they have in captivity that they're breeding so that they can release them back to the wild. Matter of fact, right behind you, the cat that's on the shirt and the cat that's on your mug and the cat on the front that you find in the touch knot. This is one of the kittens from that program. And so this is an actual picture of one of the kittens, which I think is phenomenal.
To Callum Urquhart, who works with Agus.
Oh,
He's in my interview. We talked for quite a while. So nice long interview, very detailed. He's a great guy, and we really went in depth in a lot of subject concerning the Wildcats.
that's wonderful because he is normally at Moy in the clan tent. So
Sure.
plan to meet back here as soon as you can, Ray. We can't let 2 months go by again, as we will come back and do another Cats and Coffee about Clan MacThomas. So everybody stay tuned to both channels. Stay tuned. We'll follow Ray to the No Fame Games. We'll also follow him to the fort the following week.
Right, the fort number 4, June
Fort.
29th.
June 29th. Very fun. And thank you so much for tuning in. And it was so wonderful to see you again, Ray, and do another Cats and Coffee.
Oh, it was great. Thank you so much, Cindi.
Right, everyone. Touch not, and bye for now. See you next week.
Goodbye, folks.